say, when a relationship or a friendship starts, you expect that same excitement to continue forever. It cannot. The neurochemistry will not permit that. So it's very important to shift into the more dopamine, oxytocin, the more warm, caring type of friendship and relationship, because it's all got to do with the brain. So it's just understanding that what you start off with cannot last forever. You have to bring that shift. So this is all completely explained by neurochemistry.
Okay. So initially you're more dependent on dopamine and oxytocin to feel excited about your relationship, and then later is it about serotonin?
Yeah, so it's actually actually there are about 15 or 20 chemicals.
Oh.
They're all different chemicals.
Okay.
But I'm just, to make it easy, broadly I divide it into two:
Okay.
the initial excitement and the sustenance, the caring, the warmth, togetherness. They are two separate sets when we understand that. So once we just understand that every relationship has to shift from one to the other for it to sustain long. If you expect the initial to remain, then the relationship will break down.
Okay. Is there a difference in the structure of the brain or the working of the nervous system in someone who's been in a long-term relationship?
No, not in the structure, but definitely in the neurochemistry.
So
definitely.
They're happier people in general?
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, that's the basic consensus.
Yeah. So it's a balance between, okay, so I'll explain to you. The brain itself, there is what is called the higher brain. That's the cerebral cortex. That's the brain that's responsible for the thinking, the logic. That's the brain that makes us human. And then there is a brain inside, the lower brain, that is similar to the brains of animals, for example.
Right.
So if you take away our cerebral cortex, our brain is very similar to that of a horse or a dog or a cat, so we call it a hot brain and a cold brain. The hot brain is the impulsive brain. So, hunger, thirst, sex, anger, all that comes from lower. And there's a higher brain that tells you what is good, bad, right, wrong, what to do, consequences. And a lot of unhappiness comes because there is a mismatch between what these two brains want. Okay.
Explain this more.
For example, it is good to wake up. Your higher brain will tell you it is good to wake up early and do a morning walk and do yoga. Okay. Your lower brain will want you to sleep. You understand? So the lower brain is dependent. We call it the hot brain and the cold brain. The hot brain goes by instant gratification. The higher brain thinks of the long-term consequences.
Animalistic lower brain versus humanized higher brain.
Exactly. Yeah. Now these are two brains. They both are brains. They are both our brains. They are not different, but it's just that structure. So humans we have evolved from lower animals. Okay. I mean, life started, there were fishes, and then there were amphibians, and then reptiles, and then lower mammals, and then us. So our brains have also evolved. Okay. We are the only ones to have a higher cerebral cortex. The only ones. The capacity to think, the capacity to plan ahead, the capacity to execute, that's with us. But the lower brain is still the same. It's the instinctive brain, It's like, for example, some junk food is not good for you. Your higher brain tells you it's not good. Your lower brain is hungry, wants to eat it, right? You may know that, a particular form of tobacco is not good, or, a drink is not good, or too much drink is not good. But at that time, you just want it. So it's this mismatch between the two. And now, meditation, yoga and all that is supposed to give control of the higher brain over the lower brain. That's the whole purpose. I don't believe that one should do that. I think what one needs is harmony. The lower brain is our brain as well. It's not a lower brain. It's actually situated lower. It's not actually a lower brain. But yes, it is very similar to the brains of animals. So one needs to, once you understand that you have these two, now you can bring about balance. You can actually make judgments knowing what is controlling you.
What is the call to action here for a college student who's thinking of their lower brain and higher brain? Is it to meditate?
No, it is to have so again, I'm going to keep repeating, once you have a clear idea about what is it that you want to do, then your higher brain there's a balance between the two. Okay. So if you know that you have to study to do well in an exam, now doing well in your exam, I'm just using that as an example. If it is important enough, your higher brain will automatically overrule the lower brain. When your lower brain wants to sleep more and your higher brain says, get up and study, Okay. If what the higher brain wants is important enough, it will automatically override the lower brain. So, in other words, having something important in your life to do. I mean, if you can't, it's difficult to, today's kid, you can't tell them sit and meditate. Nobody wants to meditate. Okay.
There's a quote I read once that helped me a lot to stay disciplined through my fitness journey or my meditation journey or my business career. It's a simple quote that I think encapsulates exactly what you're saying, which is that, okay, the quote goes, discipline is choosing between what you want now and what you want the most.
Exactly. Very
Same
true.
thought?
Absolutely same thought. And there's a neuroscience to it. What you want the most is the higher brain. What you want now is the lower brain. So there's a neuroscience to what you're saying.
It's basically you reworking that same neural pathway. If you have a long-term goal, it's one neural pathway. Keep reworking it.
Absolutely.
And eventually discipline becomes easy because you realize, oh, that's where I have to be anyway.
Yes.
So it's
You got
the
it right.
actual neurological life hack for a happy life.
Absolutely. You got it right. You said it perfectly.
I think that's what Gaur Gopal Das said about the core message of the Bhagavad Gita as well. He said that life is full of ups and downs, but your sense of purpose will get you through.
Absolutely. Correct. Perfect. So what I'm talking about, having a definite chief aim in life, sense of purpose, but I'm trying to structure it more finitely.
Sure.
Just saying have a purpose is very generalized. And today's generation, like what purpose? I mean, but if it is definitive, it could be anything. It could be trying to save the white horned rhinoceros in some African, it may be that,
Sure.
It may be trying to find a cure for cancer. It may be it may be anything,
Okay.
But it's got to mean something to you.
Okay.
Because then your higher brain takes charge.
So if you enjoyed this video, make sure you check out this playlist for more videos just like this. It's TRS Clips. What is happening to the human's consciousness who's undergoing surgery like that? Say if that same part that you have cut stores the face and name of his or her mother, you're cutting through that memory to get through to that tumor.
Everything you go through, it's not just whether memory is stored there or not. You may be going through an area that is connecting A and B. When you cut through that, possible that you may lose some aspects of your memory, some aspects
Wow.
of, you could. I mean, not always. And you never know because, the main memory will continue. People after tumor surgery are living normal